Greetings, Internet. I'm Chris.
This is Eli, Sir Wookie Wang.
With the SmartAssPodCast, here to bring you another trailer reaction. This time,
Star Ocean, the Divine Force.
that is Star Ocean 6, ladies and gentlemen.
One of my friend's personal favorites.
Damn right. I grew up playing Star Ocean the Second Story, and I fucking been a diehard fan ever since. The franchise is, bar none, my favorite RPG franchise out there.
Is this the first trailer we're getting for this?
They did an environment trailer recently at E3, but this is the first actual gameplay trailer. So I'm very excited to see this. Franchise has meant the fucking lot to me, and I got a whole weird, interesting backstory on how I got into the series. That'll be for another day. But very excited to see this. With Square-Enix always focusing on fucking Final Fantasy series. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm excited about the Final Fantasy VII remake as much as the next guy, but they put way too much effort into that, into like fucking Dragon Warrior and whatnot.
Dragon Warrior?
That it seems like Star Ocean always gets the shit end of the stick, which kind of bothers me. Especially with how much effort like a small team like Tri-Ace puts into it, where fucking Square Enix is just kind of like putting it out there for them. That's a different story for another day. I just hope Square Enix gets their act together and this game sells fucking very well, so they realize that Star Ocean needs like as much love as fucking the Final Fantasy franchise.
This game is not for the kids, ladies and gentlemen. It may contain content inappropriate for children.
It may, but fuck them, because I played the other one when I was a fucking kid and I loved it. It's fantastic. It's what got me into. It's what really got me into like really hardcore RPGs and like nerdy shit and like anime and whatnot. So I'm hoping this helps another generation of people get into Star Ocean. Yeah, sorry about that little rant there, but Square Enix does with with Final Fantasy what Atlas does with fucking Persona 5. It just fucking like fillets it all day instead of fucking focusing on the other properties it owns. I don't know. Anyway,
is the gameplay similar to Final Fantasy?
Actually, no. This has always been sort of an action RPG where you have pretty much free reign in combat. Back in the day, it used to be like 2D sprites. Now it's all three-dimensional. But other than that, it has some similar, like, obviously fantasy elements. But Star Ocean's always been pretty segregate of a game because it's sci-fi meets fantasy. It's always like some kind of like people from beyond the stars end up either crash landing or landing on an underdeveloped planet, and like the two times meet, and like it's kind of like a fucking this weird juxtaposition of sci-fi fantasy.
Is there any books or comics off of this?
There are a lot of comics, and they're only in Japanese.
Darn it!
I own most of them.
Negative.
But it is kind of hard. That's another thing that Square Enix doesn't like to bring any of the like content over here. Which is kind of sad. I wish they would. I really do.
It's a good way to become bilingual.
It is. Anyways, I digress. It's a good mixture of sci-fi fantasy. And instead of me going on and on and on about it, let's get to the trailer, and you guys can see how amazing this franchise really is.
Again, this is not for children.
Well, according to these jackasses, what the fuck do they know? Bunch of cocksuckers.
In a 3,
a 2,
a
1.
Blast off.
Ashton Priestess for life. Very excited.
Shield your eyes, children.
Square-Enix.
Looks good graphic-wise.
Tri-Ace.
I'm impressed.
Oh, the almighty Tri-Ace. I'm thinking the 80s hair of the main character. At the end of infinite space,
there's grass.
There is roads. Plants in the sky.
The open world is nice,
amazing, yeah. That's an interesting mechanic they didn't have anymore in the other games. You kind of like direct routes you have to take. Yeah, I feel like most games nowadays are taking that whole open world thing seriously.
It's the way to go.
I'm not against it.
Nope, I'm not at all.
And it works for like the... Ooh, who are these guys?
Gotta kill this toad.
Definitely gotta kill it. Mushroom guys are making a comeback.
The gameplay doesn't look too bad on this.
Fucking A. 2 paths across. Fate of the Universe Awakens.
The ships are pretty cool.
Yeah. That better be the next Calnus.
Death Star shot.
Right. Edis.
Whip them.
I haven't seen a character with a whip since fucking Ernest in Part 2.
The spinning whip.
So there's 2 main characters again. They went the Part 2 route. I like that. A smug magic user? Like
we have this on pre-order, my friend?
I will, but once they put it out there.
Looks good.
It's fucking amazing. Tips? Ooh, some internal conflict with the Federation. Star Ocean, the Divine Force. I am very excited. 2022. It's not that far away.
Nope. PS5, PS4, Xbox. Oh, cool.
It's gonna be on everything. I am fucking very excited about this.
Ooh, daddy.
The main character has amazing fucking hair, as do I. He's a little more muscular than I thought he was gonna be, because usually the main character is like an average-looking guy.
Okay.
Like, that is like...
Any special powers come with this main character, or...?
This one, it seems to have some kind of, like, mechanical device that he fucking wears, like, to make him fly and shit like that. So I wonder if that affects, like, all of his killer moves. Oh, excuse me, specialty arts.
What about in the previous games?
The previous games, like, fucking... like Claude C. Kenny, who was just fucking, like, badass. But they all have, like, really interesting, like, special attacks and stuff like that, yeah. Okay. They're usually all swordsmen.
Okay.
The main characters, anyway. But, there's a lot going on there that I'd like to, decompress from, 2 main characters again, it looks like. The purple-haired girl, that didn't really catch her name in there, but she's wearing armor. Yep. Obviously from an underdeveloped planet, which is usually, like I said, the premise of the...
Yeah, the open world, the graphics looks awesome.
Looks fucking amazing. Like, bright, brilliant colors.
All the different monsters, like a 3-headed dragon, some big mechanical beast. Interesting stuff, the giant toad.
All the little mushroom on her back.
Get the toad.
And it, honestly, graphically wise, it actually reminds me of 4 more than it does 5.
Right.
I don't know, that's just the way it popped out to me, like the way the...
You would know better than me. I've never played these, ladies and gentlemen.
It just feels that way. I don't know. But all the games are fucking great in my book. I don't give a fuck. Do what you people ranking them. I will put Part 2 at the top, but like the rest of them are just as fucking good. And this looks just as good as those.
It looks like it has a lot of potential.
Fucking lot of potential. That's why I'm hoping that Square-Enix gave Trius a big budget for this one and that it sells well. Like, if anyone out there is interested in this game at all, I highly recommend pre-ordering it.
Yep.
Because it fucking deserves it. And if you can go out there and find old copies of Star Ocean First Departure, which has been remastered on the Switch, actually, as Star Ocean First Departure R. That is the very first game, which is ironically the second game we got in America. We didn't get the first game until, like...
later on.
Early 2000s in the PSP.
Okay.
But Star Ocean 2, if you can find copies of them, even if you have to emulate them, like, I am not big into... emulating games. I'm a physical media guy, but rare games for a reason. They're expensive as fuck. So we gotta emulate them. But Part 2 is bar none the best. 3, you could probably still find decently priced copies, but you have to have an old PS2 laying around. Part 4, you need either an Xbox. It was like an Xbox exclusive for a couple of years. Then they remastered it and put it on PlayStation 3. 3 or 4, God, not so many fucking PlayStations now. And then Part 5 came out recently on PS4. Well, actually, not recently. It was like fucking 5-6 years ago at this point. This is what scared fans of the franchise. There's not a super lot of us in the States, especially, but we are small but mighty. We have a fairly loud voice when it comes to this. Too bad Square-Enix doesn't fucking listen to any of my tweets and shit.
I'll have to say, I'm intrigued that it's not a turn-based attack system.
Yeah.
I like that it's like, do your own thing, run around, whatever the term for it is exactly. What is that?
Yeah, it's like an action RPG.
Action RPG, I like that.
Yeah, it's always been that way. Originally,
that's good to know.
Yeah.
When I first seen it, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be like Final Fantasy."
Fucking A.
Turn-based system, but
yeah,
that's good to know.
Yep, this was originally a Tales of Fantasia, Tales of Destiny, like spiritual sequel.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys that worked on those old games, like they left and formed Tri-X, their own company, and that's how this all began. But whatever the seed was for them to make it like a sci-fi meets fantasy, God bless them, because it's fucking great. I do love it.
It's good stuff.
But yeah, I'm very excited.
I'll give it a chance.
Fucking A, or you can at least watch me play the fuck out of it.
It looks good. Looks intriguing.
Yeah, this might be like the first like major game purchase I'll make in like 2022.
You need to get a system, sir.
Yeah, no shit. It's bad enough I'm already fucking
PlayStation or Xbox?
At this point, I think PlayStation. I think they'll have the more games by then.
Especially with Old Republic coming. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and like nowadays, most games you can kind of like play together online even if you have a different system. Not like back in the day where you and all your friends had to have the same system like jackasses.
Yeah, everything's compatible now.
It seems to be.
We're getting there, close to it.
Yes, sir. But that's it. Star Ocean 6. It finally came out. Well, it's finally coming out. Star Ocean 6, The Divine Force. Coming
very soon. 2022.
2022 is not that far away, ladies and gentlemen. It's already the end of the year. Almost the end of the year. Star Ocean 6, The Divine Force. Remember to like,
share,
subscribe,
hit that little bell there for notifications.
Please do. Claude and Rena would fucking really appreciate it.
Yes.
As would I. And remember, I'm Chris.
This is Eli, so Wookiee.
That's Gioro, that's Ororon. No, wait, is that Gioro or Ororon? I forget what side they're on. And this is the SmartAssPodCast. Good day. Evening, Internet.
You're like, what just happened?
Yeah, exactly. I was like thinking of something to say, and I'm like, oh, I'm stupid.